day, everybody, and welcome to Camel City Chat. I am here with none other than Smitty. I am so honored, Jeff, that you would be on the show with me. Holy cow. I mean, you're Mr. Winston-Salem.
Well, sort of, yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's what you say.
Well, all right, so we got to ask the question, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So there's a three. So this is Camel City Chat, folks. Thanks for joining. I'm John McPherson. I'm here with my guest, Jeff Smith. Mm-hmm. And the three questions. One is, how long you been here and where you from? So where you from, how long you been here?
I was born in Gastonia,
okay.
North Carolina. It's outside of Charlotte. Spent my first 3 years of life there and moved up here to Winston-Salem. After the age of 3. And so pretty much I'm a native of Winston.
So about 10 years then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. No, more like, 52 years I've been here, yeah.
All right, so I'm 52 in March. You're 54?
I'm 53, 56.
What?
And 55 and will be 56 in this coming April.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what's your favorite place to eat? That's the second question.
You got
to be careful. You are Smitty, so be careful.
I've got a lot of places that are favorites and stuff, but I just don't tell what they are for the sole reason that I don't want to have any bias between one restaurant.
We're going to get to that in a minute because that's my bone to pick with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what's your favorite thing to do in Winston?
Oh gosh, just people watching.
Yeah.
I love it. Either in the Arts District or down on 4th Street or the mall area or Thruway. I just like people watching.
Thruway is an awesome place to go.
Yeah.
I don't go as much to the mall anymore, but I think we talked about it. Like getting a margarita over at Alma.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching the students come out and seeing people mess around in Bailey Park.
Yeah.
Did you ever think Bailey Park would be there? I mean, as I tell people, we had 2 places that we delivered magazines to, and you were out of Winston-Salem by 4 o'clock back in the 80s.
Yeah. It's weird just, seeing how the park and that whole area, the Innovation Quarter, has grown the last couple of years. And, I live downtown on 4th Street, on Chestnut Street and everything. So I've watched everything kind of like grow over the last, 20 years and everything. And I'm still blown away.
Jeff does not live at the jail on Chestnut Street.
But I live across the street
from the jail. Right? Just wanted to make sure of that there, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned something a second ago, and I do want to say this. I have known about Smitty's Notes since the inception, at least a year or two after.
Right.
I've contacted you and kidded around and said, hey, man, let me sponsor. And you've always said that... honestly, John, I did it in the beginning, and I realized that realtors are an important part. And why would a client send someone to Smitty's Notes to get information if there was another realtor on there? You've made a really smart business choice.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty cool guy that was chasing you in the beginning, and he's not with us anymore. But I know that you think the world of him, and I just want to let you talk a little about Greg White.
Yeah, Greg White. He saw early on the advantage of how it would be with realtors.
Yep.
As far as like promoting their name, letting newcomers get information, things of that sort. And, Greg and I knew each other years before the newsletter started. So, we had a relationship. Mm-hmm. And, I can give it to him today, although he has passed away, but he had the foresight, because he even tried to buy me out years ago. And I'd say, Greg, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I knew Greg had some dealings with him. Of course, as I was telling you before we got started, his brother has some daughters that are my daughter's age, and we've met and carrying on the tradition. Brent's a great guy too.
Yeah.
So, but it's I guess now what we have to do is start off with who you are. I promise I will only make one disparaging remark about Elon.
Yeah.
And that's it. That we won't talk any more about Elon there. But no. So obviously you graduated from Reynolds, where'd you
No,
go to
I
school?
went to East Forsyth.
East Forsyth, okay.
Yeah, I
All right.
graduated in 1982.
Were you Viking? Does it have Vikings?
No, we're
was
the
it?
Eagles.
Eagles. East Forsyth
Yeah.
Eagles is north of the Vikings.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
And then I progressed on to Elon College.
Right.
And spent
College folks, fighting Christians.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was a fighting Christian.
Old school.
Yep.
Right.
And then graduated from there in 1986. Plan on spending the summer looking for work elsewhere because I didn't really want to come home.
Right.
And everything. But luckily, I ended up getting a job that basically I was at home.
Yeah.
You know, here in Winston, and stayed there for 10 years, and then left there, and then started working for a corporation.
Right.
For 21 years, and then I retired in February of 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Paralegal work, right?
Yep. I've been
the real lawyers.
That's right. I've been a litigation paralegal for 31 years and stuff. So it comes natural to me to interview people because that's what I did for a living. Mm-hmm.
So, Smitty's notes. What is this, and how did it get started? Tell us the story of that. And for the people that are watching that don't know what Smitty's notes. And by the way, we not only do this here on YouTube, we'll do it on. It's sent over to Spotify and an Apple podcast, so you can listen to it in the car as well too. So,
cool.
So the people that are listening, watching, whatever, give us a breakdown of what Smitty's notes is. You know, was it written on a napkin in a bar? Give us a good story or something like that. So how did it get started?
Simple as that. But actually, it was started by accident in 1997. A bunch of us, probably about 10 or 12 of us, got together and tried to figure out what we're going to do for the weekend. So we would pass things along. And lo and behold, I started compiling everything, and then found out too that it was getting passed around to various other folks. So as a joke, I call it Smitty's Community Notes and everything, and that's how it got started. And then the local paper, the Winston-Salem Journal, picked up on it probably about a year later.
Right.
And I went home, and my email address was published by a columnist, and lo and behold, I had 50 emails in my box. Now, you got to remember, in 1997, 98, having 50
emails is like a month to 2 months of emails.
Exactly, and everything. Today, you can get 50 emails in like 6 hours.
Or less.
Or less, yeah. But so that's how it grew. But there, that's the newsletter, and then the website. Smitty'sNotes.com came in 2000.
Right.
But also, too, a lot of people don't realize that besides the website and newsletter, that Smitty's Notes does a bunch of other stuff. It's not just one thing.
And we're going to talk about all of them.
Yeah.
I know you do events and some other stuff like that, and that. So let's start with the mothership.
Yeah.
Smitty's Notes was basically an email for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking like HTML. I mean, it was an email in the beginning, wasn't it?
Exactly.
How many subscribers do you have now?
Around 16,000.
16,000 folks.
Yeah. And
did you ever have any idea that would you be in 16,000 email boxes?
No. Yeah. I mean, it's still, even today, after doing this for 22 years, I'm still kind of blown away of the reach of the newsletter, because there not only people in Winston-Salem will get it, but there are others in the Triad to get it down in Charlotte. People leave this area, but yet still want to kind of like keep in touch, so they still subscribe.
Oh my gosh,
to
Jump
the
Little
newsletter.
Children's going to be in Winston. Let's drive all the way back.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, I've got people as far away as Germany who still get it.
Wow.
So
you then spun off the website in a sense of things, so I can go there, sign up. I can also do that. Now, is it like powered by some event group or something like that? Is that where are you aggregating it into the website, or what? How are you getting those?
Really, how the website was thought of and conceived was that all the information that I collected over the years, I said, maybe other people can use this. So basically, we put a lot of stuff on the website. So really now, besides, an events calendar, which you can go to and stuff, but also things about Winston-Salem, if you're a newcomer, about, how the government, is structured, we, of course, events, things that you need from the city, as a newcomer,
Right.
things of that sort. So, yeah, and then, a list of restaurants, and this is sampling, not the whole
Right.
list. Also a sampling of the bars and breweries
Right.
in Winston. So it's a collection of a bunch of other stuff.
Well, I think one of the things that I would do is whenever we sell a house, we give a donation to the Ronald McDonald House.
Right.
And why? Because that immediately gets someone a piece of mail.
Right.
It's a thank you note, and then no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like we all have a calling to give back or do something.
Right.
So what if you get that email or that message from them, and then all of a sudden you maybe get involved, or you go to work and someone's saying, "Hey, what's a charity?" and that one pops to mind.
Yeah.
That's it's been really a great relationship for us with Ronald McDonald. You give them Smitty's notes too. What the heck's this?
Yeah.
Well, just subscribe to this, and you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know that Wake Forest is going to have a football game this weekend. But more importantly, that at Ronaldo House there's going to be this and different things like that. How do you gather all that information, Jeff?
Some of the things I seek out
Right.
And talk to various people. We used to break news a lot, back in the 2000s about, things that are going on in downtown and outside of downtown. We also let folks know about community events, nonprofit events, things of that sort. Pretty much it's a community newsletter,
Right.
And that's what I like about it, because being tied into the community and meeting various folks and seeing them in person and their website and what they do, it always keeps it fresh.
Mm-hmm. And then then everybody keeps knocking on the door still. So do you write for who do you write for, Relish or somebody?
No,
or
I used to write for Triad Style,
Okay.
which is the predecessor of Go Triad.
Right.
And then I wrote for Relish for a couple of years.
Right.
And everything that was in print. I did TV for WXI
Right.
For, actually probably 10 years. I did radio with Hits 94. For a couple of years. So
Don't forget Real Estate Radio. You did that one
did
time.
real estate
Couple times.
radio.
Yeah.
And that that was like off the chain.
Right. now you're going OG on me, man. Be careful. But no, so I mean, you've done all these different things. I mean, people are calling you in and doing that. I think the thing that impresses me the most that I don't think you ever planned is when stuff happens. Like you get politicians now calling you.
I do, and one of the things that I promised to myself was there are two things that we won't include in the newsletter:
right?
Any political ads,
right,
and anything related to religion.
Yep.
Those two things we kind of like have kept.
You polarize real quickly.
Yeah, and because we want to stay neutral,
right,
on things. So with those two things, I think that's what's helped the growth of the newsletter, and also the social media piece is that we don't take sides on anything.
And I know that, but what's amazing to me is if something's happening, they call you.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a great relationship with the mayor, and who's in D.C. right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be on next week. So, hey, when I told people the mayor was going to be on, you're kind of like the mayor too. So, I mean, I am stoked. When you and I started just kind of hitting back and forth on Facebook, talking about something, I was like, "Hey, whoa, Jeff, can you?" And you're like, "So this worked out perfect." But
one thing I could say about the mayor is I knew the mayor before he was the mayor. He was assistant city manager and he covered development, and that's what forged our relationship. Mm-hmm. And he made a promise back in 1998, because it was a group of young professionals that were getting together, and he was kind of like facilitating that. And he said, I asked him, I said, why should we believe in y'all, the city, as far as pushing things forward? Because I've seen the redevelopment happen a couple times, back in 1980 and probably in the early 90s, and it didn't stick. And Alan said, this time we're going to make it work. And that started our relationship. Mm-hmm. So, and then he went from being assistant city manager, retired, and ran for mayor, and the rest is history.
He's just such a good guy. It's like we all have different relationships with him. I call him on his cell, and the first thing is not hello or whatever. It's like, Johnny, what do you want? Oh, hey, Mayor, what's going on? And I just enjoy him, and I think he's really good for our city. I saw someone put a post on Facebook the other day, and they said, "I hate term limit. I mean, I hate people that run too long. I think term limits are the best thing in the world. However, this guy's our man," and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think with any politician, if you're being effective and responding to your constituents' needs, then you're doing your job.
You make hay while the sun's shining.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we're probably about time to take a break. So what I want to do is show the website, get us a drink of water or something like that, come back and record a little bit more of this. But what I want people to know is they can find you very conveniently. It's on his hat, folks. It's Smitty's Notes, Smitty'sNotes.com. Yep, Smitty'sNotes.com. And we'll show the website, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and talk more about some of these other things that Smitty's Notes and your entertainment side of things do, so people can learn more about that. All right? You good with that?
I'm good.
All right, we'll be right back. Check out this website, and we'll be right back. So that was your website, and so that's that's kind of years of sweat.
Yeah, it's been through probably 3 or 4 redesigns over the last 20 years.
Do you do it yourself, or do you have someone do it for you?
That's one thing I promised myself that I wouldn't do, is get into the web business. Personally, as far as the inner working. So I do have a webmaster, and what makes Smitty's Notes, beneficial is we have an SEO program, search engine optimization, so that we stay up on the searches for Winston-Salem and various places. So
the logo.
Yeah.
What was the original hat? Because I know the original hat was worn out. I think I've seen pictures of you from way back in the day that wasn't a Smitty's Notes hat. So was it Elon hat?
No, it was a Krispy Kreme hat.
Krispy Kreme hat. It was that color too.
Yep, it was that color. Matter of fact, the same company that made the Krispy Kreme hats.
You're right. Makes yours.
Yep. Makes
there you go. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. They're right next door. We could run over and get something if you want to after the show.
I know, it's tempting.
Yeah.
I think they got the chocolate donuts now.
Why'd you do that to me? You know what? I had a lady at my wife's school made my wife. A lady at my daughter's school made my wife some muffins this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going back home. She goes, well, you can take them to her today. They made it here. They're gone. Banana chocolate nut muffins. With real, like you bite into it, you feel the nut, not like it's the small stuff.
Yeah.
So Smitty's Notes, Smitty'sNotes.com, and of course we gave that earlier. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that dinners for 8. I remember those.
Evening with 8 plus Smitty.
Yeah, evening with 8 plus Smitty. This was basically 10 people. 8, you and the guest, right?
No.
Or was it 6?
No, evening with 8 plus Smitty. 8 was just the concept, having 8 people at the table. But I can go as high as 40.
But how many? All right, so I came to one, I think, that you did. I don't even remember where it was. But it was an evening with 8.
It's probably Bistro 420 or the Piedmont Club.
Yeah, it was even before then. It was somewhere on 4th Street.
Oh, yeah, it was Bistro 420.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. I mean, we're talking like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, but I think it may have been one with the mayor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do some different highlighted guests too, and stuff like that. You always get a suite at the Dash, and you would give that away for a while.
Still do.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for 10 years, 11 years now.
C.J. Johnson, the team president's going to be on the chat the week after the mayor.
Yeah.
Excited to have him on.
Yeah, talk about the new logo they
got.
New
logo, yep. I told him, I said, hey, bring it. We can hang it up on the wall or something. Maybe they'll leave it, It'd be kind of cool to, I'm not going to ask, but, the Dash, the Dash jersey hung up there.
I don't know, man. They might hook you up.
Maybe, what we could do is maybe we could get a 20 on there, since that's a year, and have them, sew on Camel City Chat, Camel City Chat or something, or the CCC.
That'd be cool.
Because this corner looks horrible.
I don't know, man. You got to do some stuff to it. Man.
Well, I've got some stuff, but I'm afraid that I might get in trouble for some of the stuff I'd put up there.
Oh, okay.
I've got some old Camels, and I don't know if some companies would appreciate the the large camel torso with a tuxedo on sitting behind us. But
Yeah.
well, yeah. So, but I might be doing the wrong type of advertisement. But no, so that was one of the first events that I did. So what's
E-
another thing that you guys do?
We did Evening with 8 plus Smitty for 10 years, which we connected community leaders with regular folks.
Right. Us commoners.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I served on boards for, I guess, the last 20 years. I mean, the Arts Council Board, Downtown Partnership Board, the Echo Council, Everybody Can Help Out Council, helped
Right.
get that started. Was a young person involved with the Piedmont Triad Partnership
Okay.
and everything. So with that, it's kind of like these boards got me connected to my constituency, and then also help progress Winston-Salem forward.
So now, who was head of DWSP when you started the Downtown Winston-Salem Partnership?
Glenda was
Glenda.
Glenda Kills.
Do you remember
know,
Glenda?
I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you know how I met her?
Oh,
Cecilia's in the old Hyde House. So we had the bookstore right there with Anastasia
Yeah.
first.
yeah.
So she came in one day and said, "You should join the Downtown Winston-Salem Partnership."
Yeah.
And I joined.
Well, that was the precursor of
Yeah.
the Downtown Partnership, which
Yeah.
is run by Jason Thiel.
Jason Thiel, yep.
And everything. And actually, I was on the search committee. We were looking for a new head president.
I got to write him down. He's been on a couple times. We're
Yeah.
going to have to hit him up. He's always a great guest.
But we were looking for a new president, and so I was on the search committee. It was me, Steve Snellgrove, Steve Strasberg,
Right.
Wanda Marshall,
Right.
rest in peace.
Holy
And,
cow! What a great lady.
she
I'm so
was.
sad about Wanda. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't even know that she had failing health.
Yeah,
And it just showed up in the paper that day.
yeah,
And I told my wife, I'm like, oh, I know her.
yeah.
What a
Yeah.
great,
She
great,
was-
great lady. Bank across the street. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. She was a great lady and
Yeah.
a great friend. We were
And
me,
a
her,
great
and John.
proponent of
Downtown.
Winston-Salem and downtown.
Exactly. Yeah. But me and John and her, were on the same dinner circuit, so we were
Right.
running each other quite a bit. But so we did the Downtown Partnership, and I did that for like 6-7 years, and that was a lot of fun and everything. Kind of like helping push things along to make sure it grows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. It's amazing, folks. As we've talked, Jeff will just name like 25 people, and it's it's like they all the connections that we all have together as and I don't know. I think you've said this a couple times, and I don't know who, but we are the largest small town in America.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just everybody knows something about somebody or that. We had installation of the Realtors Association last night, and I was talking about Arlene Roush. And Arlene's just a great lady, and she did something so professional when she and I had a deal going, and I was talking about how much she loved dogs.
Yeah.
And the girl next to her was talking to her and found out she's from over in Greensboro, but this young lady, her stepmom, is best buddies or friends, grew up around like a block away from each other from Arlene, found out that she was adopting a dog. Arlene works with the people that she was adopting a dog with, texted and said, "Hey, you need to, I know this lady, you need to check her out." They said she's got the dog.
Yeah.
Just sitting at a dinner table last night.
It's funny. John Bryan, who is one of the founders of the Crankies Warehouse, and now the Mill Project that's
Right.
down on Northwest Boulevard and everything, said it best is that Winston-Salem has what we call the Mayberry effect, in which basically you can walk up to anybody who is in leadership and ask a question or make a comment or whatever. And you can't do that in a lot of cities and everything. And I think, too, just the way Winston-Salem is set up, that, is very friendly. I talked to Simon Burgess, who's bought a lot of property on Liberty Street, but also is the owner of Hotel Indigo.
Right.
And, built that up, the old Pepper building. And he said that, I asked him, I said, "Why do you like Winston-Salem so much?" And everything. And he said, one, it's the people.
Right.
Being able to kind of like walk and someone says hey to you.
Right.
And everything. You can go to New York or any other big city and you say hello to someone, you get brushed off. Well, you might get like mugged.
Yeah, right. You know,
And
I
everything.
when I show houses, I'm driving around and stuff, and we'll go into any neighborhood, and it's like,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah,
like, "Does
folks
everyone
away.
wave?" And I'm like, "You're darn
Yeah,
right they do.
they do.
We have problems if you don't wave."
Yeah, and
So
that's in our DNA. I
yeah,
mean,
it
I
is.
just it's something about the city.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy how friendly everybody is here, and I just again, I'm so happy you're here today because I already I quit writing names down because I'm just going to stop afterwards and say, okay, who do I need to talk to? So you give me some good guests because a lot of the people that you mention I know of, but I don't have that connection to.
Yeah,
And so maybe you can help me get some people on the show.
yeah.
All right. So evening with 8 plus Smitty. What's the next thing that you guys do besides that with your events and things like that?
Well, we don't really do a lot of events. We did a wine tour for a couple of years,
Right.
in which the wine industry was new at
Right.
that time. So I was able to kind of like fill a bus full of people and
Right.
would hit 3 different wineries, and they were in different sizes, like
Right.
something like small like Hanover Park,
Right.
medium size like Raylan,
Right.
and then the big granddaddy was the Shelton Vineyard,
Right.
and everything. Like driving through there, it was like going to Falcon Crest, it was
Love to go
huge
there for dinner sometimes.
and everything.
Yeah.
So it was good to kind of like doing that period, like just showing people different wineries around here. We've got probably 100 and some wineries in North Carolina, 100 and some breweries in North Carolina.
It's like, people say we're trying to be Little Asheville on breweries now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's I've heard the argument that when does a city become saturated with breweries, and that's a good question.
You put something on Facebook, and there were a couple negative comments about, oh, great, another. It's like, people, this is our city.
Mm-hmm.
Our city will determine whether or not we need another mattress
Exactly.
store.
Exactly.
They'll close if you don't.
Exactly.
And they have.
Yeah.
I mean, what's up with the mattress stores? It's
Hell
like,
no,
yeah.
I get wisecracks about mattress stores all the time.
Right,
So,
yeah. But,
yeah.
they'll be there until they don't have business.
Yeah.
It's like, A to Z Taylor's, it's
Yeah.
underneath Knollwood over here.
Mhm.
Now he's in the, what was it, the old restaurant there, Stratford Station or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not, I think that's what it was. But he's now A to Z Wedding. You know what?
Yeah.
He's taking a risk. You got to support the people that are taking the risk.
And that's one of the things that I don't really talk about, what other people are doing as far as restaurants
Right.
or retail, because, they have put their money and their livelihood into a project and everything. And to sit there and criticize somebody for a dream that they're chasing,
Right.
Let's be constructive and talk to them about, if there's something wrong, how can we make things better, and
You
stuff.
got to support the people around you
Exactly.
because you may not like that there's another brewery coming,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going into Industry Hill. Radar Brewery is going to be the bomb,
Yeah.
just like all the others have been.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen is that may pull somebody from out of town to come here to spend money, to move here.
Yeah.
They could be the person that, introduces you to the love of your life. You don't know.
No.
And negativity just sucks.
Yeah. And one of the things about it too is if for some reason that project that somebody's working on doesn't working out, the infrastructure is already built out that somebody else can basically come in and try it their own way.
And put a Mayberry's in downtown.
Exactly. I
Right.
mean, and that's what's happened with some of the restaurants
Yeah.
in downtown. Some didn't work out, but it was already built out that someone can just basically do a turnkey and just come in real quick and put their own spin to it.
And that's our segue to talk about your buddy. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He broke that on this show. So you got to come up with something breaking news or else, I don't know. But no, he's like, hey, you know what? I got breaking news for you. Mayberry's is going downtown.
That's
It's
it.
permanent.
Yeah. Just passed it today. I looked over and said, spring 2020 Mayberry's. So,
What a
but-
great location
yeah,
for them.
Yeah. But
So tell me about Lou.
Lou, I don't think you know this, but Lou and I have known each other since we were probably 17 years old.
Really?
Yep. I was lieutenant governor of the Key Club
Okay.
and everything for, in the territory was North and South Carolina.
Right.
And I was responsible for the Key Clubs in this area,
Right.
the Triad area. and stuff. And Lou went to Forsyth Country Day, and I
Right.
went to East. And it was getting toward the end of the term, and I was due to give the speech for our president
Right.
of the Key Club and everything. And Lou and I worked on the speech together, and that's how we built our friendship.
Right.
Him and I have kind of like crossed paths, through college. Like, Lou, what are you doing here,
Right.
and things like that. But we actually become friends too. I watched him when he was really young. As far as like going down 4th Street, talking to some of the real estate folks and
Yep.
things like that. And to watch him come along over the last, 30 years, 40 years has been phenomenal.
Lou was one of the installing officers last night at the Winston-Salem Regional Association of Realtors installation. He installed the Commercial Alliance and the and of course now I'm drawing a blank, but the Commercial Alliance and the Property Management Division. He installed both of those. Lou is someone that, as I was speaking last night at the installation, he's someone that holds the rung above them on the ladder and reaches back down.
Oh yeah,
with the free hand and pulls so many people up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was a big honor. In fact, last night we had Lou was there, Ted Kelly was there, and then from 2015 or so till current, state presidents were at installation last night. We were all out at Windmock. There were 280 of us.
Yeah. I saw the pictures on social media. And so,
I'm doing okay on social media today,
it was
aren't
a
I?
lot. It was a lot of people.
And so there were a lot of people. But I'm doing pretty good on social media personally. But you did see my daughter, right?
Yeah.
She stole the show.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Laura stole the show. I mean, I got people calling me up and going, "I love your daughter" and all this stuff. And I mean, I think that honestly, she could do a Pledge of Allegiance tour right now. She did the pledge with my 95-year-old dad and just had a ball.
Good deal.
And but I ended the speech with, folks, I always ask my daughter, what can you do? And the answer is, honey. And she goes, anything. And I said, anything. That's right. One day you could even be up here and serve as president of this association.
Yeah, it's called perseverance, man.
Yeah. But the coolest part is Andrea Bushnell is the CEO for the state.
Mm-hmm.
There's 46,000 realtors in the state. Andrea took my daughter aside and said, you're absolutely right. You can do anything. And don't you let anybody. And I mean, so this is a strong, powerful woman that's talking to a 5-year-old and explaining to her the importance of being who you are and don't let anybody tell you anything differently.
She's doing two things. One, she's saying girl power.
And
the other thing is kind of like she mentored her and said, hey, you can be anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so important, and that goes back to what we were talking about. That I mean, I try to take my daughter to ladies basketball games.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, why? What's going on? I said, well, I want my daughter to have positive female role models.
Exactly.
Because that just sets her up for success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about Lou Baldwin.
Yep. All right.
Did you know that Lou and I are born a day apart, the same year?
No.
Yeah. He's born April 1st. I am born April 2nd. Is that crazy or what?
That's really crazy. That
So
is
we
crazy.
always kind of like, over the years catch up with each other, for our birthdays, when we can.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to text him when we get done today and tell him that you were on and actually had positive things to say, Lou. I didn't have to pay him like that. But no, he's awesome. And I will say this. I'm now going to, normally, as I've always told you, whenever we've done anything, I'm setting the the basketball up on top of the tee and giving you the softball questions. I've got a hard hitting one for you.
Okay.
Where do you see Winston-Salem going? What are your dreams, Jeff?
I think we're on the right path as far as like kind of like giving ourselves a rebirth. That's why you've seen a lot of activity with Wake Forest Innovation Quarter, certain parts of downtown. And the reason it's important that those couple things kind of like have been blossoming is that downtown is a barometer to other businesses coming. Because if you have an active downtown and everything, that shows a business that you're recruiting that you have active people. And they're also looking for, what they call folks who are in the creative class who's going to be in their workforce. I mean, can we hire people here?
Can we get the millennials to stay?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and everything. So you've got to have the amenities that kind of get folks to stay. You've got to have, good apartments. You have to find something for them to eat. You got to keep them entertained. I mean, these are part of the
You got to
recruitment.
communicate with them.
Yep,
And the reason why I do that is, guess what?
What?
We're going to show your website again. Take a quick little break.
All
okay?
right, let's
Sorry,
do
I
it.
didn't mean to point. I got to do the Disney point. How's that?
Yeah.
We got to communicate with them.
Let's do
Folks,
it.
go to smittysnotes.com. Smittysnotes.com. Here's the website again. And we'll be right back with a little bit more Camel City Chat here to finish up with our friend Jeff Smitty. So, I mean, I always got to stop and say, how to get in touch with you. So that's why we put the website up there. But you were saying that, the millennials keeping our workforce here, attracting companies here.
Right.
And if you want to finish that thought, or are you good, or I've got to follow up?
Well, one of the things too, I mean, what makes us great is, like for SafeTag.
Right.
Everything. If we're
USC.
If we're recruiting folks or a company that come into this area and stuff, they want to know what the workforce is like and how can we train them. And I think for SafeTech has done a great job actually training people through their curriculum on what an employer needs and everything. It kind of goes to a bunch of other stuff that we have to look at to recruit a business. Can we get a workforce? Can we keep folks entertained? Can we feed them? Things of that sort.
The follow up was going to be this: is we see on the news, we don't have a corporate headquarters. We don't have a corporate headquarters. Thank you. Who cares? I'd rather have 10 great small companies than one big large company. And I know that they're upset because we had one of the top 10 banks here, and I'm hoping that they treat us as bad as they treated Wilson by making there be more people employed in the community after they left.
Yeah.
BB&T, great company, Truist. When they left Wilson to come to Winston, Wilson was devastated, but then now they have more employees there than they had before they left, and I hope they do the same here.
Same thing's going to happen
company,
here. I worked in corporate America for 21 years, and I saw this is going to be a merger of the equals.
Yep.
SunTrust and BB&T. One thing about mergers of the equals is that you can't dictate what's going to be what and everything. And they decided that Charlotte was the place for the headquarters for various reasons. I think
Midway between the two, all that stuff.
Yeah, midway between the two. It's a banking city and everything, and for both of them, it's neutral.
Yeah.
You're not having Atlanta or Winston-Salem. You're having Charlotte. So,
and I understand that, but think of some of the cool companies that we have here.
Yeah.
I wish Garner Foods would offer tours and all that stuff because I'd drink Texas Pete if they'd let me.
Yeah, and I think Glenn Garner, he pushed for them to bring their headquarters downtown.
Yep.
And it's added to the life of Winston-Salem.
Well, and Krispy Kreme's still got a really great presence here. I just think that let's not cry over the spilt milk. Let's do what you're talking about. Holy cow, what a beautiful campus we got downtown now.
Yeah. One thing I want to add too is just that, people tend to forget that R.J. Reynolds, Haynes, and everything.
That's the one, Haynes.
They were entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They were small companies and everything.
I never knew this. Do you know who R.J. Reynolds bought his tobacco company from?
Oh.
My understanding is he bought the Haynes.
Really?
Supposedly they R.J. Reynolds bought Haynes's tobacco or something like that. It's crazy
back in that time period, they helped each other out, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, now of course someone's going to write me down in comments and say no, you're an idiot, and I expect that, but
basically what we're doing is we're building the next headquarters for a company right now, and everything. It could be, Inmar.
Inmar's awesome.
It's been playing Pac-Man with other companies that they've been buying out and everything. I think they're going to do it. Some of the pharmaceutical companies or down the innovation quarter, they're slowly building. We're creating that atmosphere to build the next headquarters.
Yeah, we got Dr. Atala down there.
Oh,
we got, gosh, you said Inmar. Actually, one of my daughter's classmates' father is like vice president of technology there.
Yeah.
And then one of my clients actually works on the acquisition team. Great company.
Yeah.
We got what's going on over at Whitaker Park.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be.
He's going to be on the show.
Yeah,
I got him. He did. He's just a great guy. And then so we're having fun.
Yeah.
And
too, we're looking forward to where we want to be, but we've made some great contributions to the world in general. I just learned this a year ago, but Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about Malcolm McLean.
Right.
Do you know who Malcolm McLean is? Remember McLean Trucking?
McLean Trucking, yeah. We knew one of the presidents at one time. There was friends of my parents.
People don't realize what he thought of was revolutionary about the shipping containers,
right?
Being able to drive a tractor trailer to a seaport,
right?
Basically load the container onto a ship,
Lego it, yeah,
and everything. That was started by him.
Malcolm McLean created basically the plug-and-play shipping containers.
Exactly. So if you go anywhere around the world and you see a shipping container,
right,
that was basically him. He started that, and that was basically here in Winston-Salem.
Yeah. If you go back and look, so many cool things have been attributed to our town, too.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of famous people come through here, too.
It's just innovation. I mean, he innovated the shipping business, the logistics business, and everything. And I think the next headquarters is going to be involved in the next innovation for the 21st century.
Right.
I truly believe it.
All right. Well, here's my last question for you.
Okay.
Unless you got anything else you want to share?
No, I mean, outside of, that we're just moving along and, we have a great group of people who are moving things along. One of the things that I learned back in, 22 years ago was that Winston-Salem was in dire straits and everything, and it took folks from the establishment and the grassroots folks to actually meet in the middle and to work together, and they did. And it's still in our DNA today. Yeah. I mean, we work together. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've enjoyed.
Yeah, and I mean, you truly are the ambassador, and I know you've been called this by the big wigs too, but you're the ambassador of our town, and I mean, I appreciate everything you've done, and who you are, and how much you love our town, and so that's why my question. I already told you what it was going to be. So this is something new for me. I did the radio show for 5 years called Book Talk on SJS. Then I turned around and did 11 years, 4 months with Real Estate Radio. Mm-hmm. Now, this is something that I want to continue to do. We'll focus on real estate some, but I really want to talk more about our community and what Winston-Salem is and the surrounding area. Yeah. Jeff, I need help. I want you to kind of give me some advice on what you see as Camel City Chat being, because I mean you're my third guest now, and I see what you've built, and I know you did it not only as a service, but because you enjoyed it. And that's what I want this to be, too. It's something I enjoy doing that we can get the message out. So.
Yeah, I think, for one, you being in the real estate community helps out a whole lot. And this helps not only you, but other realtors talk with newcomers as they come into Winston-Salem. Right. It gives them a flavor of what the city's about by having your guests and everything. So I think Camel City Chat, through its progression, from your radio show to the video podcast and everything, it's going to be adding to the fabric of Winston-Salem and everything. And I think you're not going to have any problems getting any guests, because I think any guest is going to promote what's good about our city and also our county.
Well, I really can't thank you enough. You've always been someone that has grabbed hold of the ladder and reached back down and pulled me up when I've asked you to help out with a guest, or who do I talk to, or things like that.
It's the Mayberry effect, man.
That's right. The Mayberry effect. Folks, I want to thank our guest, Jeff Smitty, being on with us today on Camel City Chat. Of course, check us out on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know, when I started this, I said I'm not going to do that, but then I realized I have to do that. So like, subscribe, click the bell thing so that you can get alerted when we have new things come out. Check out Jeff's website, smittysnotes.com. That's smittysnotes.com. And again, thank you.
Oh, the social media piece. Always go to Facebook and Smitty's Notes group on Twitter.
All right.
It's Smitty's Notes, and also on Instagram.
So while you're doing all that, come over and check us out too. But no, because that's what we live and die for is that. And so check Jeff out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You got any other places?
That's it, man.
do we need to send them to your Tinder profile? You got one of them?
No Tinder profile.
And then also smittysnotes.com. Of course, all those things can be accessed from smittysnotes.com or just search Smitty's Notes on Facebook. And again, thank you so much for watching us here on Camel City Chat. We'll see you next time.